Hello students, I hope you guys are having a marvelous Monday. You're officially in your last week of school, and so I'm praying that it goes by quicker than you ever can anticipate. I know it's been a crazy semester, and I'm excited that you guys get to enter into the summer, and I pray that you have plenty to do. And just know that our staff as a whole church and our staff and student ministry, we are excited to get back. We're trying to be safe and cautious, but you guys will be the first to know when we can start to open up a little bit and be back physically together. And so we're really excited about that down the road. We're going to finish up this week our Names of God series. And so if you've been joining us every day and doing the series with our whole church, it's been really insightful. It's taught us a lot about the character of God. But today we're studying the term jealous God. And I feel like that can be very confusing. And I think as we dive into scripture today, as we dive into Exodus and Deuteronomy and 1 Corinthians, we can really gain insight into what it means to be jealous for God, or for God to be jealous for us, and how that's actually a good thing for his character. So again, we're going to be in Exodus 20, verses 4 through 6, Deuteronomy 4, verses 23 through 24, and then 1 Corinthians 10, verse 22, if you want to flip there and just keep your finger on those pages. But jealousy in our culture, I feel like, is not viewed as a good thing. Most of the time when I hear jealousy and I pull up some example or image in my mind, it's usually of a jealous boyfriend or jealous girlfriend. And those are characteristics that we put in the con column. But when we talk about God, it's actually something that's very consistent about his character. What we see in Exodus and what we're going to see in Deuteronomy and 1 Corinthians is that God is the same through, and that he is jealous. And then we're going to talk a little bit about, after those scriptures, why it isn't a bad thing. So if you look at Exodus 20, we're in the 10 Commandments, and we're looking at the second commandment, and it's in verse 4, "You shall not make for yourself an image in the form of anything in heaven above, or on the earth beneath, or the waters below. You shall not bow down to them or worship them, for I, the Lord your God, am a jealous God." If you go to Deuteronomy 4, verses 23 through 24, it says, "Be careful to not forget the covenant of the Lord your God that he made with you. Do not make yourself an idol in the form of anything the Lord your God has forbidden. For the Lord your God is a consuming fire, a jealous God." And then if we flip down to 1 Corinthians, chapter 10, verse 22. Before that, they're talking about food offerings for other gods. But I find it so interesting here. Paul says, are we trying to arouse the Lord's jealousy? Are we stronger than he? And so what we see throughout scripture is God is jealous. And so my question is that a bad thing? But what we need to realize is that God should be jealous. If you think about who he is, how amazing, how powerful, how perfect, how loving and caring, when we start to look at the whole character, the whole big picture of who God is, there is nothing on the same level as him. He is more sovereign. He deserves all worship and praise that this world can offer. And so shouldn't he be jealous? If other things that aren't on his level, that never will be on his level, are being worshiped instead of him, it's only natural for him to be jealous and want our love and want our affection and want our worship and want our praise. And so just like every other devotional in this series, we examine two questions. What does this name of God teach me about God? And then in turn, what does this name of God teach me about me? So what does it teach me about God? Is that God should be the only object of worship. Now, when I was your age, when I thought of that, I said, okay, I can handle that. All I got to do is just sing a bunch of songs. That's what worship is. And that is a form of worship. What worship is offering homage or honor or praise to God. We worship through tithing. We worship through serving. We worship through sacrificing our time and our resources. We worship God by loving people the way Jesus loved people. All those are forms of worship. And so when we worship God in those ways, it is countering his jealousy. It's what he deserves. And so God should be the object of our praise. And so when we talk about this last question, what does this name of God teach me about me? It's just a question for you to reflect on, but what are you worshiping? You know, are you worshiping God? Are you worshiping sports? Are you worshiping a relationship that in your life? What are we prioritizing and putting in the place of God that it should not be there? Because he is a jealous God, and he deserves to be on the forefront of our minds and our praise and our worship. So what are you worshiping? So I hope you guys can reflect on that question today and grow closer to God and remove those things and put God in his rightful place in your life. But we love you guys. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Have a great rest of the day. Bye.